So now we're going to learn about the introduction to plant asset, property, plant and equipment, and natural resources. So in this subtopic, we're going to take a look at the valuing plant asset and natural resources, depreciation, and analyzing plant assets and natural resources. So let's take a look at the valuing natural resources. How are we going to value the natural resources? So natural resources, also called as wasting assets. Wasting assets are rights to extract or consume natural resources. Examples are purchase rights to minerals, timber, natural gas and petroleum. So natural resources tu ialah bahan-bahan galian, okay? So companies report natural resources at historical cost plus cost of discovery, exploration and development. Okay, ni macam mana kita value natural resources dekat historical cost tambah dengan discovery, explore and development. So now kita tengok pada valuing PPE. Okay, so PPE is measured at historical cost as well. Historical cost valuation implies a company initially records an asset at its purchase price. The cost includes any expenses necessary to bring the asset to a usable. So, maksudnya kita akan value dia dekat purchase price and all expenditure needed to prepare the asset for its intended use. For example, the freight cost, installation cost, taxes, and all the costs incurred to set up the asset lah. So kita akan capitalize dia. So that's how we value the PPE. Nevertheless, historical costs have some limitations. So what are the limitations? That is, statement of financial position do not purport to reflect market values. Okay, historical costs tak boleh nak reflect the market values. So not especially relevant in assessing replacement value. Dia pun tak sesuai lah to assess the replacement value. So historical costs not comparable across companies' financial report. Not particularly useful in measuring opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from another alternative when one alternative is chosen. Itulah opportunity cost. Okay. So lastly, the collection of expenditure reflecting different purchasing power. So historical kan, dia tak reflect lah in current. So these are the limitations of historical costs. So now let's go to depreciation. Depreciation is the process of allocating the cost of a plant asset to expense in the accounting period benefiting from its use. So maksudnya dalam SOFP ni kita akan record acquisition cost. Okay, whereas untuk SOPL ni kita akan record expense, allocation. Kita akan buat allocation, itu depreciation. So kita akan record dalam SOPL. Sebab tu SOPL ni yang kita dah guna tahun tu, depreciation value. Ni baki, the unused balance. Okay, factors in computing depreciation. Okay, the calculation of depreciation requires 3 amounts for each asset. First cost, salvage value, useful life, and depreciation method. So salvage value is the estimated resale value of an asset at the end of its useful life. Itulah salvage value. Useful life ni tahulah berapa jangka hayat asset tu. Depreciation method ada dua, itu straight line method and reducing balance method. Let's take a look at the straight line method. The rationale for the straight line method is the assumption that physical deterioration occurs uniformly over time. However, this assumption is more valid for fixed structures such as buildings rather than machine. Okay, sebab dia fixed kan, so kita terus dia bahagi dengan berapa tahun useful life dia. So every year sama je dia punya depreciation. Kalau machine ni, dia kan ada maintenance dia. So sebab tu dia boleh berbeza-beza dia punya depreciation. So the limitation of straight line method is that straight line method assume that depreciation in early years is identical to the later years, when the asset is slightly less efficient and require increased maintenance. So result in distortion in the rate of return. Sebab secara logiknya, barang kita baru beli, of course depreciation dia untuk tahun tu lebih kurang daripada tahun seterusnya. Okay, so that is the limitation of straight line method. So now let's go to the reducing balance method. The argument that to support the use of reducing balance method is that the decreasing depreciation charges over time compensate for increasing repair and maintenance costs, decreasing revenues and operating efficiency, higher uncertainty of revenue in later years of age asset. Maksudnya semakin lama kita guna aset tu, semakin banyaklah yang perlu kita baiki dia. So sebab itulah adanya reducing balance method. Okay. So depletion is the allocation of the cost of natural resources on the basis of rate of extraction or production. The difference between depreciation and depletion is that depreciation usually is an allocation of the cost of a productive asset over time, while depletion is an allocation of cost based on unit exploitation of natural resources like coal, oil, minerals or timber. Okay, so beza dia, depreciation tu setiap tahun. Depletion ni dia berdasarkan jumlah yang dia exploit. Okay, so our analysis must be aware that like depreciation, depletion can produce complications such as reliability or lack thereof of the estimate of recoverable resources. Companies must periodically review this estimate to ensure it reflect all information. So untuk analisis ni, kita ada tiga jenis analisis, iaitu analyzing plant asset and natural resources, analyzing depreciation and depletion, analyzing impairments. But I dah pun masuk dalam slide-slide. Kalau impairment dah masuk dah, analyzing impairment tu sekali. Tapi kalau you nak lebih detail, you can read the textbook page 250 up till 254. Okay, so analyzing depreciation depletion ni pun you boleh baca lebih detail page 252 until 253. So basically inilah yang I rasa penting untuk this analyzing depreciation and depletion. So manager make decision involve the depreciable base, useful life and allocation method. Therefore, by analyzing this depreciation depletion, it will help to assess the reasonableness of depreciable base, useful life and allocation method. It also help to review any revisions of useful life and evaluate adequacy of depreciation. That is the ratio of depreciation to total asset or to other size related factors. We can also analyze the plant asset age by measure the average total lifespan, average age, average remaining life and average total lifespan. So these are the introduction to plant asset and natural resources. Okay, so Lastly, kita akan tengok kepada introduction to intangible asset.